Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Mr. Grow 420 and we are with T-Money and his grow. We're going to watch his watering and he is growing with Emerald Harvest.
Alright, well, for this line, you could pick up a catalog from the grow shop, wherever you get it from. Hopefully they have one there. And it'll show you on here, like, how much per gallon to do and when to give it. Unfortunately, I've made a mistake a few times because it tells you at the bottom, pretty much it gives you the ideal water temperature would be between 60 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which right now the water is at about 69.3, so it's right in there. pH is up, but that's because we haven't got to that part yet. Pretty much the ideal pH I'm going to be looking for is between 5.8 and 6.3. Now with this one, when you're doing either from the beginning of seedlings and stuff all the way into late veg or whatever, you always have to put the micro in first. But I've made a mistake many times because on the chart they have micro at the second one, and I'd always have to dump out the water because I accidentally give for the first, like put the amount for the grow in as the micro.
And we're going to start here with micro. Some of his plants are experiencing some nitrogen deficiency, so we're going to give it 7.5, 1.5 liters more than what the normal calling is for. And here is grow. It has to be 12 milliliters. He has a plunger full of 10, and here we go. Recording. Now, is there a certain order that it has to go in?
After the micro, it doesn't really say, but I normally, like when it comes to the other nutrients, after I do the micro, I would either do bloom and grow and then the other nutrients, or grow and bloom. It doesn't seem to matter on the order on the other ones after the micro grows in.
And here we have bloom. This is 4 milliliters of bloom.
And if you notice on like the micro, grow, and bloom, it's like a lighter color nutrients. You'll notice on I'm not sure which of the other ones that I'm using is the one that's a little difficult. It's a really dark color, so it will be hard to actually see the markings on the syringe.
And here is Emerald Goddess. 6 milliliters of Emerald Goddess.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about with the darkness of some of the nutrients.
And here is 8 milliliters of Honey Chome. And here is Root Wizard. And with Root Wizard, it is 15 milliliters per gallon of water. So that is 30 milliliters.
And on this one, I've already did at least one feed using the new, the extra nutrients. And I thought that, because I was just doing like a gallon and a half, so I thought, okay, 15 per gallon, so split 15 and a half and use that. No, apparently you don't split it in half. You actually got to round it down to the
nearest number.
Back to the last gallon, like the last full gallon.
He had experienced some burn on some of the leaves because he rounded up. And here is the last plunger.
Yeah, I had 2 plungers ready to begin with because I didn't really want to have to go back 3 times to the thing during the video.
So now after it's been mixed up, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of molasses to it. Because he is still organic growing, he still needs a beneficial bacteria, something to eat, and the sugar, molasses, would be a perfect source of food for them.
And now the pH was at 7.7. Let's see if it's still at that. It went down just a little bit. Now we're going to see how much it goes up to when we use molasses, because I was told that it raises the pH.
And here is the molasses. Unsulfured molasses. You don't want to get the sulfured kind because that can cause some problems with the plant. So what we're going to do is we're not going to measure it out. It's by eyeball, but you want roughly around a quarter cup of molasses. Go ahead.
Pause.
And that is 4
Tablespoons.
tablespoons. Thank you. I had a brain fart. 4 tablespoons of molasses if you want to measure it out, but you can't hurt if you go less. You can't hurt if you go 2 more. So.
And remember, if you're using the measuring cups, it is molasses. It'll take a while.
It's thick, so go ahead.
Alright, tell me when.
Alrighty. Good.
You can let them know that on.
So you want to get the water warm enough where the molasses can incorporate and break down into the sugars while you're mixing it in. So now what he's going to do is he's going to test the pH after the water has been perfectly incorporated, and we're going to see if the molasses actually raises or lowers the pH.
And when you're doing the stir, remember to get the middle too, because the molasses likes to stay there even when you're stirring heavily.
So here is the water pH before we added the molasses. So we've actually tested with his reader. It only went down 2 points with molasses. We were told, and what I understood is that it would actually raise your pH. So we're actually going to go with pH down. We have not really used any pH up in the flowering tent or in his.
Alright, I'm running with 2 meters. I'm going to use this one that actually shows the temperature of the water. And then this guy right here.
This one right here. And then this one right here.
What I'm trying to do is both of them, actually none of our meters are running the same. We don't know why. They've been calibrated.
This one that I have in my hand right here is actually more closer to the one that I actually have for the flowering tent. His.
So I'm told this one's properly calibrated. So what I like to do is, after I add some of the pH down, I test it with both meters, and if on either meter the pH is either too low or too high, then I will adjust it to where it's at least within the 5.8 to 6.3 range.
And here is pH down.
Alright, so after adding, let's see, right now on the newer meter it's at 6.3, and on the other it's at 6.19. Normally when I get the newer meter at 6.3, then it's right within the correct parameters on the other tester too.
And here is the before. And we'll check back in a couple of days to see what they look like after the feed. So here we have the entire selection of Emerald Harvest. T-Money, what do you think of Emerald Harvest?
So far it's I've noticed that with using that, it's actually made the plants explode, well, in a good way. And are you getting the 2 bottles down below? Yeah.
Alright, so this will include the Emerald Harvest video. Any questions or comments, put down below. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And I'll pin in a couple of videos that I made in the past. Maybe you've not seen that. Take care, everyone. Peace.